Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your first gameplay for the A-6E TRAM, or TRAM, depending on how you want to say it. This is a Rank 7 battle rating 10.0 premium aircraft in the American Air Tech Tree. And a lot of people are wondering, hey, why is this 10.0 and it's Rank 7 when you have the F-5C that's 10.3 BR and Rank 6? And the reason being is because money talks, and they wanted to charge $10 more for this and introduce Rank 8. That being said, this is still a relatively competent aircraft. I mean, I don't know if these stats are correct, we'll be seeing in just a moment, but it has a mediocre rate of climb, mediocre turn time. Apparently it's supposed to be somewhat accurate, but I'm not so sure of that. And it does have access to a bunch of missiles, or 4 missiles rather. So it can have access to 4 AIM-9Ls, you can have access to a bunch of bombs, you can have access to some gun pods, so on and so forth. And in order to give the best gameplay, the most varied gameplay possible, I decided to include 2 missiles, 2 gun pods, and 3 1,000-pound bombs, just so you guys can see what this can do. Now, it does have 28 500-pound bombs, which is phenomenal, especially for close air support, so bear that in mind. Or you can have yourself, what is that? Well, 28 of those, 52 Zunis. You can have yourself 5 paveways, and, well, you guys can kind of see right here, but it's just a whole bunch of ordnance that this thing can have, and just really, really phenomenal. So that being said, we are going to get into a match or two here, see how this thing performs. I'm not expecting too much, but hey, you never know. So that said, let's get into it. So I will say this, just getting off the runway, this is slow. Now bear in mind, I do have the 3 1,000-pound bombs, 2 gun pods, and 2 AIM-9Ls underneath, but this is nowhere near a maximum payload. So bear that in mind, but it does have that targeting pod underneath. That comes standard, so you do not need to equip a targeting pod like you would in the Tornado, the Jaguar, so on and so forth. A lot of other strike aircraft. This just comes with it, so it does not occupy a payload spot. Otherwise, getting off the runway, it's got mediocre roll rate, unfortunately, but this is low speed, so you never know. Could be a little bit better, should be a little bit better. It's fairly large, and I'm actually really surprised that you don't have other aircraft that are completely passing me, but let's see what we can do with this. I've got some high hopes, but maybe that's just the optimist in me. So right off the bat, I am moving substantially faster than what the stat card shows, so bear that in mind. Stat card does not always tell the truth. Rate of climb isn't all that bad either. It's actually pretty substantial. I'm not losing much speed with this payload, which is nice. You know, these engines are more powerful than the stat card shows, which tells you the dev server is not always correct. So I'm going to go bomb that base on the right side. As you do see, I have ballistic computers. I believe those are active as well on the... that's good enough for me. I believe that they are active as well on the rockets. So ballistic computers should be all around for both bombs and rockets. And we have this base here. Now, I'm not expecting a base kill, but you never know. Then we'll go for that MiG-15. Probably drop an AIM-9L on him. Unfortunately, when it comes to dev server gameplay, you face a lot of bots, and that's about it. I'm going to do this. All aspect, and bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Now, with that 3-bomb setup, I didn't really get all that much. So bear that in mind when you are deciding whether or not you want to get this, because that's not all that great, to be quite honest with you. But thus far, with 1 kill, I believe it was a crit on an NPC and also 3,000 pounds of bombs dropped. Not too bad. You know, I mean, this is very, very capable of getting numerous kills per match. You just have to play it correctly. So I'm going to go gun this guy down a little bit here. Perfect. Easy enough. Let's try this maneuverability. Not incredibly impressive. Now, if it sounds like I'm being a little bit picky here, it's because I am a bit of a car guy. And just looking at all these performance stats, it does kind of matter a little bit to me. Now, it depends on what you want. So, of course, the AIM-9Ls, they're not... Oh, connection to server lost. So, of course, the AIM-9Ls, they are not going to be guaranteed kills, but they're about as close as you're going to get, at least as of right now. Do not like that rudder control. Wow. And so they're as close to a guaranteed kill as you can get. But you might want a backup cannon. So whether you put 2 on, you put 1 on, the backup 20mm cannons on this are phenomenal. I mean, there's not really anything negative that I could say about the 20mm cannons that the Americans use. I love them to death. They have a ton of power. You have a ton of ammunition. And as you can see, I'm doing quite well with them right now, of course. Whoa, heat! He juked me. I'm a bit embarrassed. I'm going to probably just go run into their base here. Because, again, these are all bots. What's the point? But you never know. I'm just get a few kills here. Just kind of show you guys the power of these cannons. Pretty damn good. That was ugly. J29. Now, again, I am not at all impressed with the... Oh, okay, this guy is shooting at me. I'm not at all impressed with the maneuverability on this aircraft, to be quite honest with you. It is a bit bad. So let's go try to take these guys. Oh, jeez! Holy guacamole! Wow! Okay, there you go. So let's get back up in the air, see how this does. But, yeah, that was fun. So some interesting things I've noticed while going to the base here, and as you can see, I've got the 8 incendiaries, and I also have a 2,000-pound or like 957-kilogram paveway, so that we can test out the laser targeting capabilities of this. Hopefully I don't get shot down by an AI, but currently I do not have any offensive armament, so I can defend myself with 60 flares and mediocre speed and handling, rather. That's it. So there is a cockpit here. It's actually really, really well detailed and actually quite nice. As you can see, I mean, there are just a ton of things here. Even goes up and down with the throttle, which is really, really cool. But I think that the stat card is really, really far off from what is accurate. Additionally, I don't think that there's any sound built into this thus far. So normally you can hear the sound, but it just isn't there. So if you guys watch my other videos, like with the MiG-29, F-16, those gameplays, you can very, very clearly hear that sound. But again, it's just not here. So I'm going to see about dropping... Oh, okay, it's already dropped. Did not mean to. I don't think I'm going to have enough panache to actually hit that. Yeah, probably not. So if I don't hit that, that is on me 100%. But again, I mean, that just kind of tells you guys, yeah, I'm not going to hit that at all. Nowhere close. I do not have enough speed. But that kind of tells you guys one thing. Well, two things, I suppose. First and foremost, this is a very slow aircraft. So you're not really going to be able to get too much use out of those unless you're high and you're somehow moving fast. So obviously I was not high enough for that. We can try that out again, maybe in test drive. But that was not impressive at all. So I just dropped 4 incendiaries. I want to see what the destructive capability of this is. Now, by attaching that 2,000-ish pound guided bomb on here, it does take away from my other payloads I could carry, such as incendiaries. You can equip 2 more underneath in lieu of the 1,000 kilogram bomb. So bear that in mind. But I was able to destroy 2 bases with 8 incendiaries, so not too bad. But again, you're sacrificing in that regard cannons, you're sacrificing laser-guided ordnance, you're sacrificing AIM-9Ls. So there is a lot that you sacrifice by simply just using the the bomb loadouts there. And while you can go for base, you are not at all moving fast. Unburdened at around 650 meters, I'm only going slightly over 1,000 miles per hour, or kilometers per hour, rather. So it's not very fast. Now, these are the air brakes, as you could see. It's got okay maneuverability. It's got decent enough energy retention. Okay. Maybe I underestimated its maneuverability, but it's still not you know what? It's much better than I expected. You know what? I'll give it credit. At speed, it's pretty good. Plus, it does have really, really nice energy retention. Holy cow. So that said, let's just go test out those guided bombs in a more confined setting. Maybe see if it works a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, the targeting pod, perfectly fine. It's just otherwise, again, you need very specific conditions in order for them to work. So that said, let's get into one final test and demonstration. Okay, so we've got one last test here. As you can see, this does have a radar warning receiver, which is nice. It's got very powerful radar. Not really, I don't really know if it's necessary in this regard, but it does have that. Maybe once they add, anti-radiation missiles, possibly. So I do have a ballistics computer for the rockets, which is really nice. I'll fire these on that over there, and then I'll try to drop these paveways, the 1,000-ish kilogram paveways on, well, you know what, I'll probably drop one on the medium tank, and I'll probably try to drop a few on that aircraft carrier, see what we could do. Man, that ballistic computer is sweet. So I don't know if you guys know, but I am not a fan of laser-guided bombs in this game. I need to, as they say, get good, but such is life with somebody who just does not plan to get good. So that said, let's go drop that bomb, see what we could do. As you can see, my ballistic computer was a bit off, so I'm going to go down here. Hope that's corrected plenty, and now I'm going to pull up. Got the kill. Okay, that wasn't really how it was supposed to work out, but it worked. Okay. So, essentially, one of the main reasons... Wow. Wing overload, huh? But the wing is still there. I guess mostly. One of the main reasons why I'm not a big fan of guided bombs is just kind of how much you kind of have to nurse them in a way. It's just too much. You know, I'd much rather have TV-guided ordnance because they're more or less kind of fire and forget in many instances. But that being said... Is the A-6E TRAM good? Well, it's not as good as the F-5C, and I like the A-10 much more in many instances. So for close air support, I'd probably say the A-10's better, and for dogfighting, I'd say the F-5C is better. Now, of course, this does have the AIM-9Ls, but without the AIM-9Ls, this is probably like a 9.3 BR aircraft, at best. At best. Might even be 9.0. So it's just not really an impressive aircraft as it currently is in the dev server. Now, of course, many things could change between now and then. This thing could get, you know, incredibly powerful ordnance. We don't know. But as of right now, yes. I mean, it's just unimpressive, to be honest with you. So is it a good grinder? Yeah, I think it'll probably be a really good grinder. But again... Just insofar as my experience with this is concerned, there are going to be better planes that you can buy. But unfortunately, being that this is rank 7, this currently, as of the release of this video, is going to be the only aircraft that you can use to research without penalty to rank 8. So bear that in mind. So that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Please, of course, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the dealio. By the way, thanks again, and I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.